Welcome to Hillgilly Fishin, and today we're going to talk about DIY GoPro mounts. That's right, we're going to talk about how to do it cheaper. We're going to talk about maybe how to capture that one angle that you've been looking for in your content. If you're like me, I'm always looking for something new, so I want something to move around, but maybe you need a stationary thing. We got multiple solutions we're going to talk about today. Let's get to it. If you go on Amazon and you look at their clamp mount, it is $48 for a clamp mount. Now I went last night, got this little clamp, and it's almost the same exact things I just put on the screen, except it has little orange tips. You can probably take care of that with some paint or something if you want to, but this is 99 cents at Harbor Freight. All right, then I go to Lowe's and I buy a 2-pack of these quarter 20 bolts for 88 cents. Amazon has these GoPro adapters, and they are like $7 for a pack of 3. So you divide that out, let's call it $2.50. So I'm gonna have $4 in this whole mount by the time this is over, instead of paying $48. So you do the math there. Like that's a pretty simple equation. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the camera and we're gonna build one of these. I've never done it before. I've seen them done, and I mean, this is gonna be simple. So you're gonna be seeing it for the first time live. All right, let's get to work. First thing we gotta do in this clamp is we need to drill a hole. Well, guess what? There's already some holes drilled in it, so we just need to make them a little bigger. So these are 1/4 inch bolts. You could go with a 1/4 inch drill bit. I'm gonna step it down one size. Simple as that. Plastic right through it. I'm gonna put my bolt on the bottom side here. Okay, so we got our screw pushed through. Again, that's a quarter 20. I picked a 1 inch long. Maybe you can go a little shorter. I wasn't really sure. Next thing we need to do is we're going to put some nuts on there. I'm going to double it up. Put one down. We're going to put the other one down. Oh man, that 1 inch might have worked out perfect. So here's the GoPro mounts that I ordered off of Amazon. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna screw this right onto those threads right here. Oh man, that's a perfect fit. Like, it tightened up right as it hit. So 1 inch for at least this one was perfect. There you are, guys. You're hooked up and ready to go. Right there to the track of the garage door. Maybe if you're ever doing something you need to film from the bed of your truck or anywhere on your vehicle, looks like you could hook that up. Fairly simple, just find you somewhere to clamp it, right? I mean, this ain't rocket science. Now, the next order of business is I went to Lowe's and I've got a couple pieces of 1/2 inch PVC pipe, and those are gonna work great because we're gonna make our own little camera pole or selfie stick, whatever you wanna say, and it's going to be cheap. Those sticks are 10 foot long. They're $4. So you could make several shorter ones. You could make a couple longer ones. I don't think they're probably sturdy enough to make a real long one because you're going to have so much bow in it. But here in just a second, I'm going to show you that they fit perfect in a Scotty mount that you can order. You don't even got to order the Scotty brand. You can order the knockoffs on Amazon for cheap too. But let's first just get to building a simple camera pole. I'll show you what that's all about. Now, I've went and done some measuring over here on the bolts behind me about how tall I wanted this camera pole to be. So I've got a mark, rough indication, it just happened to be right here. So I got my little Sawzall here, my little handy tool, and my cool tools. And we're gonna give this a cut real quick, and then we're gonna show you the next step. All right, so I got my pole cut. Now, the next thing I gotta do is I got to put a cap here on the end. You can find these PVC caps at Lowe's. They're, man, 50 cents, 60 cents, something like that. They were less than $1. So I picked up a couple, picked up a few more fittings because we can make this thing as elaborate as we want to. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this cap here on the end, right? Just gonna test fit. and that's going to be the top of our camera pole right here. So, I'm going to drill a little pilot hole through the bottom of this. So we got our screw. We're going to put it through the bottom here. So there we go. We've drilled a hole through the top of our cap. We got double nuts. We got our quarter 20 bolt sticking through. Screw her on. Nice fit. Now we're just going to slide that cap on the end of our pole. I've got about probably $3 in this whole setup right here, maybe $4, versus buying $20. I can do whatever I need to. It's good and sturdy. It doesn't bow. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. Let's show you how I'm going to use it on my boat. But I told you these Scotty mounts, right? This pole, camera pole, is going to fit right down in there, and it's good and sturdy. Obviously it's a little long. It's gonna sway just a tad, but it's because it's so high in the air right there. Just set that down. If I want this thing to lean out way far away from us, I could set my rod holder there. I can adjust this out, get the angle that I want, say that's what I want. I can slide this in here, and now I'm able to shoot way out. Now you can see it's got just a tad bit of a bow in it because it is so long. But what you can also do, and I do advise two things in no matter what you're doing, because GoPro cameras or DJI or whatever kind of camera you got, they aren't cheap. So whenever this is finished, I'm going to put a pull noodle on there, so if it does happen to fall out, it will float and I won't lose my camera. My cameras are waterproof, so the only thing I'm worried about is it sinking to the bottom and me not being able to find that. So there's you a couple of simple camera mounts you can do, from the clamp to making your own selfie stick or pole, whatever. But I'm not done quite yet, because here's the deal, is there's two of us fishing on the boat. We usually got multiple cameras and I'm looking for multiple angles. So a lot of the times me and Chris might be fishing out the same side of the boat and the camera can only be on one of us, until now. Now, when I was at Lowe's this morning picking up the PVC, I also grabbed multiple fittings here because I had an idea that I might kind of make this a tree where we could run 2 or 3 branches off of it and have multiple cameras off the same pole on the Scotty mount. So we're going to make an adjustment to the length of our pipe here, and then we're going to run some forks off of it. Let's get to it. And there she is. She's all mocked up. Now, I do still got to go back and I got to glue it because those little fittings are a little bit loose, and just the weight of that camera is going to make it flip over. If you're doing just a singular pole with the cap on, I know I've seen some other guys, they don't glue their stuff because they like to take that cap off and move it from side to side. Hey, you just have to play with it and see what you want to do. So this just hit me. I was getting ready to disassemble this. There's so many different variations you can do if you don't have it glued together. I'll have to test and see how sturdy this is all going to be, but I actually think I like that better for a 2-person camera system than the other. And only because it's a little simpler. Now, you know, we're just going to take it out and test the camera angles, and I'll probably drop them here at the end of this video, show you that we actually using them and I'm not just going out and spending money to make videos. Another idea I've had is using the trolling motor as a camera pole. So I'm going to take one of these 1/4 by 20 bolts. I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom of this cap on the motor. I'm going to have the thread sticking out and give us yet another camera angle. And you know, this is always there, so it's not a pole that we can move around and mount, but it's one less pole that we might have to cast around. So let's take this apart and see if we can make it work. We'll see what it looks like. And there we go. Now we've got a GoPro on top of the trolling motor. Now you're on the new PVC pole. What you think? Got a pretty good angle there. Does the job. Heck yeah. I was like, where are my pliers? That's why I'm sticking out. I'm like, oh! Coming after me.
All right, I'm gonna try to.
Oh, he's loose.
I catch all the biggins.
Did you get that whole catch on camera?
Nice. Best I could. I mean, I was busy watching it and busy trying to net.